Hi friends, it's Wing from Outsider Comics, and look at this flag. It's a pride flag because today I want to talk about our pride highlights section. It is not all our queer books because oh my gosh, like there's so many queer books. We are a completely 100% queer and mostly trans owned store, right? So we have so many queer books and they are just scattered throughout the whole place, but we picked the ones that we like the most and put them here in this Celebrate Pride Spotlight section. So I just want to talk to you about a few of them and maybe give you some ideas of what to buy someone or yourself. I don't know. Let's start with genderqueer. This is like the most banned book in America because people are terrible. But it is essentially just a memoir of a non-binary person, and it is a wonderful book. And I want to say this is like the number one book to get if you're like, I don't know if I'm into like queer comics or I want to learn more about gender and stuff like that, or like I don't know if I'm really like I am, or if you're like, hey, I like gender stuff but I don't know if I like graphic novels. This is kind of like a book that is at the intersection of all of that, and so it's just a great book for anyone who wants to explore or learn more about anything that's related to gender and or graphic novels. So if some you have someone who's just like you want to give them like a sort of like another like a 101 of like what a non-binary identity looks like, genderqueer is a very good one. It's of course not representative of every non-binary identity, but it is a very good place to start. um, and a sort of a more direct approach is quick and easy guides. The ones we have out right now are datum pronouns. So, you know, seriously, just if someone keeps misgendering you and you use they them pronouns, you need to give them a gift. Maybe this is what you want to give them. Or maybe like, if someone's like, hey, I really want to respect your pronouns, or I really want to respect pronouns of like non-binary folks or people who use they them pronouns, but I don't know where to go. Like, this is a really good introduction. It is literally quick and easy. We also have other quick and easy guides like to asexuality, but this is the best-selling one, which is why we have so many of them. And we also have like a lot of sort of non-binary folks doing memoirs nowadays, which is amazing. Xgender and Until I Love Myself are both from Japan, are both out from Japan, and it's a very different perspective than what we see in the U.S. or even Canada. On a lighter note, Dream Daddy, a dad dating comic book. Yes, it's a comic book. If you like the idea of dads dating dads, whether it's because you're a dad dating a dad, or someone's a dad dating a dad, or you're just really into seeing two dads being dads together, like, this is a great book. It's just amazing. You should get it. Speaking of dads, My Brother's Husband is another classic. It is about an well an interracial couple an interracial couple. This is not them. This is actually the protagonist, and this is his brother who passed away's husband, and his brother's also Japanese, so it's like an interracial gay relationship. And kind of the small child, his daughter, who's kind of like the innocent view of this whole situation of like, hey, like, is it hard to explain what gay marriage is to kids? According to this, not very hard, because the kid really kind of gets it, and it's actually the older man, the dad, who really needs to figure out like how to deal with that. But this is definitely a classic. Okay, I want to say it's a classic, but it's like not even 20 years. It's not like Astro Boy classic, but in the grand scheme of queer manga, this is definitely a classic. And now we have the entire omnibus volume. so you don't have to hunt down both of them. A newer book is The Magic Fish, and this is about a gay Vietnamese man who's just like, and the tagline is, "How do you even tell? Yeah, like you can't even come out if you don't know the words, right?" And it's another memoir, and you know, with some fantastical elements, but it's also just relatively new and definitely a great recommendation, or a book that I would recommend that is great. Maybe it's a great recommendation. I don't know. Let's go down here. If you like anthologies, if you're like, I want more than one story in a book, we've got you covered. Um, we have the Pride omnibus. Like the Pride is literally a bunch of gay superheroes, which is amazing. Um, we're still here. Trans Comics Anthology. Be Gay Do Comics is a really good one. And it's stuff from the Nib, which unfortunately just their last issue just came out. But Be Gay Do Comics is a great compilation, and this gorgeous hardwood. Let me do this. Like it's got gilded edges, and it's essentially fantasy with elves and like monsters and forest creatures, but it's all non-binary. If you're more into like superhero slash I want to say like less indie stuff, right? There's always Poison Ivy. The second one is coming out next week. This is the first hardcover of the new Poison Ivy series by G. Willow Wilson, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It is sapphic as heck, and it's kind of just like Poison Ivy wants to destroy the entire world, but also her girlfriend is hot, and maybe she shouldn't do that. Who knows? But yeah. Anyway, this is it, and it's also just like it's hard to do because of the wrapping, but like the art is absolutely gorgeous, and the cover gallery in the back alone is worth the price of admission because all covers for the series are just utterly gorgeous. Boop, 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 boop. Let me come up here. Let's see. What else do I want to rant about? I'm gonna do this because to cover up, like it's not very like revealing or anything. It's just that I want to cover this part up in case like the algorithms hate me. But we also have my lesbian experience with loneliness and its sequels, including my solo exchange diary, and it's from Nagata Kabi, very much a pen name. It's sort of this anonymized memoir about a very, very, very depressed young woman who wants to be a manga artist, who eventually just goes like, I need human contact, and decides, hey, what if I slept with a spicy worker? I am not being euphemistic for censoring reasons, more for algorithm slash like we don't want to get banned, unfortunately, reasons. But yeah, she hires a spicy worker, and you know, what happens after that? What's her reflections? It's like, okay, now I have human contact, but like now what? Like, and kind of her like recovery, and also we descend into depression. It's a really raw series. I love it personally, and it's not for everyone, and it is also right NSFW, so definitely not for kids, but it is definitely a very raw, very honest, and brutally beautiful series. Highly recommend it. I can't show you what's behind it. I was just wondering, like, wait, what's the book behind it? Oh, I can't show that on camera. Sorry. We have Chef's Kiss, which is relative. Just got a whole stack of these in, and it's like another lovely MLM comic. Like Check Please. I haven't talked about Check Please in this video, but Check Please used to be a webcomic. It's about a boy who plays hockey, he likes pies, and he likes this guy. Yeah. Hijinks. Anyway, Chef's Kiss is about a slightly older protagonist. He's out of college, and he's just like, what am I gonna do with my English degree? Well, apparently he's gonna get a cooking job and have a crush on his coworker. That's what's gonna happen. It is extremely cute and it is great. Hey, look at that. For teen readers and adult books, it's for teens and adults. Um, Other books. I'm just like gonna tell you about every book we have facing out because I love all of them. We have Brooms is great. This is a new book. It is essentially about a bunch of queer witches of color who have to escape. I want to say 1930s Mississippi because they're not legally allowed to use magic in Mississippi because it's 1930 whatever. And so they go on illegal broom races to earn the money to like escape to the north so they can be out and proud as magic users. Yeah, and we even have some signed copies as well because Theo Duval, the artist, he was here a couple months ago when it came out, or maybe a month ago. I don't know. Time is a lie. We have Be Haunted from Rachel Tuna Petrovist. She's a Vancouver local-ish Vancouver, BC artist. It's a little spooky. It's essentially kind of about like, okay, yeah, she's haunted. Maybe she can use those good. Maybe she can take these little tiny ghosts around her and do something with it and make a pact with them and achieve success. But at what cost? We don't know. Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm not telling you because that's spoilers, but I will tell you that in the process, she gets a hot girlfriend. Laura Dean keeps breaking up with me. It is absolutely amazing. First of all, Mariko Tamaki and Rosemary Valero O'Connell are both amazing creators. The way that I describe this book to people is like these kids need therapy, but like in a good way. They just need to work. They just need to work stuff out. Oh, and we have an anthology of gay stuff. Young Men in Love. And Heartstopper. It's like a Netflix thing. I don't actually watch Netflix, so I don't know, but I've heard that it's really good. Oh my gosh, how can I forget Oh Human Star? If you haven't seen this before, it is a sci-fi epic, if you will, of what it means to be human, what it means to gender, what it means to exist. Like, it is a lot of really kind of heavy stuff, I want to say, but presented in a really light and beautiful and gorgeous and just heartwarming way. So, yeah, we have the entire series. The entire series is out. This is just the first one, but we also have 2 and 3, so you can just binge the whole thing. And you probably want to binge the whole thing because it is very good. Finally, I'm gonna stop talking after this one. Ken Marshall's Matchmaker. This is a love letter to queer culture over the last 5 years. I think there are definitely like a lot of books about queer culture pre-pandemic. I want to say, but this is kind of like what it feels to be a young queer person living in a world where COVID-19 exists. So like look at them, they're so cute. They met at a COVID-19 testing site or a vaccine site or whatever. And it's just been like this book's been serialized as sort of kind of a webcomic on like Tumblr and co-host, but it's just like, hey, would the perfect encapsulation of being young and queer and trans in these times, TM. So this is literally my favorite book on this entire shelf, which is why I saved it for last. And it's also thick with 2 C's. Look at that, thick. So yeah, this video is a lot longer than the other ones because oh boy, I love talking about other queer comics. So if you're still here, thanks for listening. Come by, look at queer stuff. Like we've got so many more queer comics in the back there too. Like oh my gosh, and like over here, and like over here. But this is a cat. So yeah, I'm just gonna come back here, look at and zoom in on the lesbian robot and say bye y'all.